What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay. Free NBA picks every single day, my guys. This is what we do. We have our guy Andy with us, man, from Wager Talk, the prop guide here at Bump Sports on Twitter. What's up with you, Andy? Everything cool with you? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Everything cool with you?
Yes, I have to apologize for my completely lackluster intro. Most people know this by now. I had emergency eye surgery on Wednesday, and literally my doctor was like, you cannot do anything to strain your eye. Like, I can't work out,
Right.
no running, definitely no head shaking and dancing like I normally do in the
Please don't
intro.
hurt yourself.
And you know I get into it, so I figured I got to play it safe, and I just sit here and take care of myself. But good news, everything went great for the surgery. I'm on the road to recovery, so excited to talk some basketball with you, Jay.
Man, I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm glad you're here as well in the flesh, and still doing shows as well, man. So respect to my guy Andy. Let's break down some games here. Quick little show, and let's get straight to it here, guys. First game up, we'll go over here to the streets of Charlotte. Here we have the Hornets getting 3 points at the house versus the Knicks. Obviously two type of Jekyll and Hyde type of teams in this one. This is one I know that I know for a fact I'm staying away from the spread here, Andy. But any prop looks in this one, I know Terry Rozier started to look a little bit better. Any guys for the Knicks that guys might be looking out for?
Yeah, this Hornets team is really tough to bet on from props betting. I will say Rozier has started to break out of his 3-point shooting slump. You could have taken his under 3-pointers for a while, but a lot of times you see these guys when they're going under, they're going to regress back up. So that trend has kind of moved out of the way, and it might be a good time to kind of jump on Rozier over his 3-pointers. The Knicks, though, I haven't bet a player prop on them in quite some time. If you are looking at overs, it's Jalen Brunson, probably. Maybe it's Julius Randle, but it seems like these guys are inconsistent at best. You might find a good matchup on paper, but then it just doesn't come to fruition. So honestly, Jay, I've kind of stayed away from it. And sometimes, as you know, the best bets that we make are the ones we don't make. So
Exactly.
I don't really have a strong consideration. And I do have to say, Jay, I somebody from your show came in to my UFC show, and so I need to do a better job of telling you what bets am I actually betting.
Yeah.
So I give out props that I like for each game, but moving forward, I need to say, hey, this is just a lean or this is a bet. I will tell you at the end of each show that Jay and I do, I will give you out my best bet. That is definitely one that I play myself.
Got you.
I'm low volume, so I'm not going to play everything that we talk about here. These are just leans. Maybe it helps your opinion a little bit, but I will definitely be better at letting everyone know, hey, this is an actual play for me. As far as this game, nothing really that stands out.
Gotcha. I appreciate that as well. And like I always say as well, we're kind of here to just kind of lead you as well, and not necessarily making you. I always say we're not necessarily saying, "Hey, you have to take this play." We're kind of just letting you know what we like. It's really up to you guys if you want to click that button or if you want to go ahead and go to the window and put your money down on it. Obviously, we hope that you cash, but like I said, we're here to help you guys, not necessarily make you beg. See what I'm saying? If you have a gambling problem, call this number. So it's nah, but I'm well, let's go. Yeah, but I don't have anything on this game. I mean, the Hornets, Hornets are very lackluster. The Knicks are very Jekyll and Hyde as well on the road. You never know what you're going to get from them here. So I could understand maybe back in the Knicks, but line coming down here, I'm not betting this game, man. So let's go over here to the streets of Orlando. Here we have the Magic here getting 8 points at the house. You talk versus the Raptors here. You talk about another team that's been Jekyll and Hyde. The Raptors are not that great at the house, Andy. I mean, on the road here, but obviously you could look at some props in this one. How you looking at this? I know Fultz came back, Cole Anthony. They got Ben Carroll back for the Magic, coming off that big win versus the Clippers. You looking at any props in this game?
Yeah, it's the funny bet of the year. OG Anunoby over his blocks. They keep putting his blocks at half, and
Mm-hmm.
I went on a show and I mentioned it, and of course he goes 2 games without hitting it, and a couple people commented, and I was like, I know you have to stick with it. And then he hit the next 2 games, so it's just one of those. If they put out OG Anunoby at half a block, you just take it as a little sprinkle every single night. There are a few of these bets that are cashing every single night. We're going to get to another one, but OG Anunoby is just kind of one of those. Just take it over half. I've also kind of been a little bit interested in Markelle Fultz.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm looking at unders. He against Milwaukee, 8 for 18 for 20 points. Then the next night, 0 for 4 for a point. I can't even
Dang.
go plural on his
Right.
points that he scored in that one. So you're going to have these really inconsistent games. I don't know where the 8 of 18 came from, but I'm leaning Fultz on the under for the Orlando Magic. I'm really bummed that we're not getting the really awesome Wendell Carter season. Wendell Carter looked fantastic. He looked so good at the end of last year, Jay, that they benched him because he
Right.
was instrumental to them winning some games, and they were like, "Sit down."
Right.
So I was looking forward to betting on Wendell Carter on the Magic this year. We're not getting it, but Banchero has been a good surprise. But for Orlando, I'm leaning towards Fultz under his points. But OG, I will be sprinkling as I do every night over half a block.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just want to ask real quick: do they have like the steel block, like or steel plus blocks or whatever? Obviously, it's going to be a higher number, but do they have that as well? I think I'd probably take that because like obviously you could get there with the steals or the blocks or whatever.
Yeah,
But
you could play blocks or steals and blocks.
steals and
So
blocks.
I
Okay.
think you're good either way. But the nice thing about this play is it's only minus 120. That's still
All right.
not juiced to the over. So I'll still be pounding away on that one.
Yeah, it sounds good. So I could not talk you off that. Yeah, the Raptors only 3-9 away this season. So for whatever reason, it's kind of crazy because last season started off they were really good on the road and then they weren't great at the house. So it's really flipped this season. So it's just kind of crazy there. So I wouldn't be so they are laying 8 points as well. Magic have been at the house here for a little bit, what third straight home game for the Magic here. So wouldn't be surprised if the Magic were to be able to keep this game close. It's not something that I'm in a hurry to go and bet though. The Raptors versus the Magic. But like I said, I hope you guys understand why I'm not in a hurry to go lay 8 points with the Raptors on the road, with them sitting only 3-9 straight up so far this season on the road, guys. So it definitely might be a little tall task for them to win this one by double digits. Lean Magic in that one. Let's go over here to the streets of Indiana here. We got the Pacers laying 5 points at the house versus the Washington Wizards. Y'all know me. I mean, I can only look towards the Wizards in this game, Andy. Aside from prop, just me looking at the side here. Pacers coming back home from a 7-game road trip, and they only had 1 day's rest as well. So it's a little bit different when they come back from their road trip and have maybe 2 or more days rest, but only 1 day off. You have to travel all the way back home, back acclimated to a new time zone, take care of different things at the house and stuff. So I can't lay points with the Pacers here. This is not a great spot, and this team has the Nets on deck tomorrow as well. So a horrible spot for the Pacers, really today and tomorrow, to be honest with you here, Andy. But you like anything in this game?
Yeah, it really is it's a really brutal scheduling stretch for the Pacers, but I got to give my team credit. What a great
Mm-hmm.
win in for Golden State. They it wasn't a complete disaster on the road trip. They beat the Lakers, they beat the Warriors, but this is kind of getting back to a little bit of a team I'm liking to bet props on. Obviously, you're looking at Tyrese Halliburton, and for me, I'm going back to Buddy Hield. This is a play that I think is worth a little bit of investment. This is certainly not a big hammer spot, but Buddy Hield over his points, rebounds, and assists has cashed pretty easily the last 3 games, and it's gone under. Or I'm sorry, the line has moved down. It's 2 points under what it was last game, which is pretty surprising to me because Hield has been doing it with points. He's had a 9 rebound game in there. So Halliburton seems to get all the attention from a props betting standpoint with this Pacers team. But take a look at Hield as his points, rebounds, and assists. And moving forward, if Tyrese Halliburton sits, Buddy Hield over his points, rebounds, and assists is an auto play. He's hit it every game that Halliburton has sat. So take a look at that. With Washington, we don't have any of the props out because we're waiting on Porzingis. If Porzingis sits, should be a big
Oh
Kyle
shit,
Kuzma game.
he
So
questionable?
what's that?
Porzingis questionable here?
I have him listed as a game time decision on RotoWire.
Damn,
So I could be
crazy.
wrong on that one,
No, I
but
see it questionable a few places too. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I missed. I mean, I don't really care about this game. So I mean, I don't really care about injuries too much. But I know that it's Wizards or nothing here for me. But I mean, yeah, it's gonna be tough. So it looked like for the Pacers, Turner, I mean, Turner really the only one that matters on the injury report for the Pacers. There, they will get Jalen Smith back, but yeah, Porzingis, Barton has been a shell. I don't know what's going. Will Barton, I mean, maybe he just was really sad from getting traded from Denver, Andy. But like, I know they were bringing him off the bench at first, and I was thinking maybe a few games they should start him. He did start a few games and didn't do anything, so I'm not sure. Maybe Barton needs to go back to his home, go back to Memphis, go to Memphis, or he has to get on a different team because he just doesn't seem to care about basketball. So if he's out, that doesn't matter. But if Porzingis out, that's a huge miss, Andy. But what were you saying? What if Porzingis is out? Anybody else you'd be looking towards on the Wizards?
It's a big Kyle Kuzma game,
Right,
especially if Turner's. Jalen Smith, I wish we would get a little bit more consistency from him. I mean, he has his moments where it's like, oh, this guy's a really good, stretch. He can hit threes, and then the next night he'll go 0 for 3. Or you're like, oh, he had a big rebounding game, and the next night he'll have 3 rebounds. So the consistency is a little tough for Jalen Smith, but if Porzingis is out, Kuzma should be in line for a big game.
Exactly. No, it's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, if Porzingis is in there, I know Bill is still out for the Wizards. Let's just put it this way: I can only look towards Wizards. I don't care what injuries happen, whatever. It's not a good spot for the Pacers, but they are coming off a loss. But it's a horrible spot for Pacers. Wizards are nothing for me in that one, my guys. But yeah, we definitely want to see a Porzingis plays. Let's go over here to the street real quick. I'll tell you something about Cavs, Kings. It's real tough to bet this game. Donovan Mitchell didn't go through shoot around. Doesn't mean that he won't play. And some De'Aaron Fox is banged up as well with that foot over there. Real quick, I did want to ask you though, Andy. I know that Sabonis assist has been something that's been cashing, or is that something that you'd like and you have to like even more with Fox being a little banged up as well, right, Andy?
Yeah, Sabonis has been good. Unfortunately, the books have seemed to catch on to him, so they've inflated the lines. The books have been on top of Sabonis. As of now, there are no props out for this game on DraftKings. So without the numbers, don't really have that strong of opinion. But I got to say, the books were so aggressive on Sabonis that he went a string where he was cashing his under on points, rebounds, and assists. When you're taking those big numbers on points, rebounds, and assists, you need everything to go well. And it was, it was a little bit tough for all the scores that Sacramento has for Sabonis to have everything. So with no numbers, no opinion on this game right now.
Yeah, some good points. Maybe look at some Monk threes in this one. Monk is going to let them threes fly. And if Fox is a little banged up, more opportunities for Monk in that one, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of Philly here. We have the Sixers laying 5 points versus the Lakers in this one. This line was at 3.5 up to 5 now. I did see that I believe LeBron and AD may be probable in this one, but regards to that, it's all about the spot in this one. What do you think about this guy? I know Philly's had a few days off in this one, Andy. Any props you looking at in this one, my
guy? Tobias Harris over his points. This is definitely worth a look. Boy, there's a lot of really good spots. Let me read the point totals here for Tobias Harris recently. 24, 19, 23, 25, 24. He had his worst game maybe of his career where he only had 3 points, but he rebounds nicely and goes for 21 and 27. We cashed that a couple times. I bring this up because his point total is only 17.5. This is a guy that's consistently getting over 20 points. Even with the return of Harden, he's been great from 3-pointers, 7 of 8 against Houston, 5 of 6 against Memphis. Obviously, we don't expect that kind of shooting percentage, but this is a guy that's consistently playing 30 plus minutes, maybe even 36, 38 minutes. He played 46 against Houston. So even with the return of Harden, he's getting his shot attempts. He's making 3-pointers, and he's one that the books have not, I don't think, adjusted properly. So there's still value on this. And LeBron, take a look at LeBron rebounds whenever Anthony Davis is out. I've kind of we joked about LeBron being old and everything. He has gone back to hitting his points, rebounds, and assists over. Okay. He's hit it a few games.
He watches the show.
He heard us. yeah, exactly. I gotta wait for the status on that. But what I really like about the Tobias Harris play is I don't think LeBron is going to be on him. So I think Tobias is going to have a few more open looks. Obviously, we got to wait and see about LeBron and Anthony Davis and their status. But if one of them sits, you're just going to the other one. If LeBron sits, you're going to Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis sits, you're going to LeBron to take their over. So just wait and see what we get from those two.
Yeah, it's that simple. It's that simple. Yeah, Philly coming off 3 straight road losses. First game back at the house as well. Like I say, they've had 3 days off as well off that double overtime game versus the Rockets in that one. So tough game for me, man. What, fifth straight road game for the Lakers as well. AD had a little illness. Even if he comes back, may not be 100%. You know how it is when you come off being sick. It takes a little while to get back 100% here. So, and he was balling out for a while. That was mainly why the Lakers were looking good. Now off 2 straight losses. So really tough game for me, guys. I'll be honest with you. When I have a play on some, a real strong look, I'll let you know. When it's a tough game for me, I'll let you know, guys. So wouldn't be surprised if the Sixers got it back going though, but don't necessarily want to lay points with them there, me personally. So over here to the streets of Brooklyn here, man, another funky game. We have the Nets here. I can only look towards Nets here, and obviously KD has been on a tear as well. This team is laying 7.5. Now, I mean, what are we doing here? Because Trae Young is, well, obviously they had a lot of stuff going on with Navy Millen, but now without DeJounte Murray, do we lean on Trae Young? Because he hadn't been shooting the ball well here, Andy. Someone has to step up. This team has a lot of injuries. I believe Hunter, I know Collins still hurt. Maybe Hunter may be back, but I believe still hurt as well. But do we lean on Trae here, Andy? That's the question.
I'm going the opposite direction. I mentioned the OG Anunoby blocks.
Yeah.
The Trae Young under his made 3-pointers has been it's been the bet of the season. So the books still have it at 2.5 3-pointers. Okay, Jay, the under is 15-2 in the last 17 games. That's how bad Trae has been from 3-pointers. His last 3 games, he is a combined 3 for 22. And I talked about this on Wager Talk today. DeJounte, yeah. As cold as that snow in the background. Yeah, there, Jay. DeJounte Murray is out. I think the traditional thing would be, well, Trae is going to be shooting the ball even more. And it's like, how could he be shooting the ball more? He's taking 20, 23, 19 shots a game. He's just not hitting them. I think tonight it would be much better if he was a little bit more of the facilitator. I would hope to see that from him. I would expect to see that from him. It looks like Bogdanovich is going to be in tonight, replacing Murray. The interior defense of Brooklyn is not great. It could be a good Trae Young game, penetrating inside and doing some damage inside the paint, because it's just not happening for him on the perimeter. So Brooklyn only gives up 2.4 made 3-pointers per game to point guards. So they do a good job closing out. But this has been the bet of the season. This is another one that I will sprinkle every night until Trae goes on a until he proves. And this isn't just a small sample size. I mean, this guy's barely shooting 32% for the season. So it's not going well for him. So that's going to be the big one. And then for Brooklyn, yeah, you mentioned it. I'm just not really sure who guards Kevin Durant for this team. I can't quite get there because Durant and Kyrie just kind of, switch back and forth. Okay, you score 30 again. Okay, you score 30 a game. So I can't get there on any Brooklyn props. But I'll just go back to the oldie but goodie. Trae under his made 3-pointers.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off there. Yeah, I'm scared of going against some trade props here just because I know the used to be there. I know, like when Murray and Young, they kind of used to be fight for shots. Now that one of them out, we saw what Murray did when Trae was out. Now that Murray's out, I'm really scared that the volume is going to be like he might shoot 10 threes tonight. Even if he missing, he might shoot 10 of them. But looks like Simmons is coming back for the Nets here. I could only look Nets here, but I'm not laying 7.5 with them here. It's a tough game. Let's get to some better games here, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of New Orleans here. We have the Pelicans getting a 1.5 at the house versus the Suns, guys. I'll be perfectly honest. I wanted to be all over Pelicans here. I still lean Pelicans. I just hate going against a team coming off such a bad loss like the Suns did. They were down by 40 points in that game. Like, you really want to come back and get back to your winning ways, like immediately right after the game, just to get that bad taste out of your mouth. It is a same season revenge spot for the Pelicans and playoff revenge spot as well. And Willie Green going up against his old coach as well. He was an assistant coach on the Suns. So I really like to take Pelicans. I believe Herb Jones and Ingram still out. I don't like that. And then on top of that, the energy guy of the team, Jose Alvarado, might have like a few cracked ribs or something. He took a real bad blow last game. He is questionable. He is a Warrior as well. Wouldn't be surprised if he played, but I know that he won't be 100%, and I actually won't be surprised if he. I will be surprised if he plays. I think Jose Alvarado will probably be ruled out today. That's just what I think. But still lean Pelicans here, Andy. Andy, how you looking at this game, my guy? You think that Devin Booker, anybody on the Suns, try to bounce back here?
It's a really nice spot for a Devin Booker bounce back game. I mean, Boston. I mean, just they're a
Smoke
freight
City.
train right now. It's almost like you almost have to throw out games that your team plays against Boston because it's just there's no team like it right now. So yeah, Devin Booker. Now they got his point total high 28.5. So it's a big one, but yeah, I would be leaning over on that one. One guy that I'm on the fence whether this is official play or not. Probably lay off because there's better ones, but Mikal Bridges has been going under his total. And
Hmm.
with Mikal Bridges, you take his under points total if he's got a big time defensive matchup. Like whenever he plays Dallas, he's always guarding Luka, and he never goes over his point total. That
That
was an
makes
easy
perfect
cash the other
sense.
night. And then the other night against Boston, he's so focused on trying to play his best defense. He ends up going 3 of 12 from the field, and he goes under his point total once again. So they have his point total at 14.5. I'm just not sure what his defensive assignment is going to be. I don't like playing guys that can score, that are coming off a really bad shooting performance.
Hmm.
So I'm probably staying away from that one. I do like what I've seen from Zion. My only concern with Zion is that freaking Valanciunas. Is he going to play 30 minutes or 12? What is it going to be? Is it going to have 12 rebounds or is he going to have 3? So that front court gets me a little bit frustrated because I just can't quite pull the trigger on any of these Pelicans guys. So for me, it's Devin Booker as favorite play. I still am not going to get to the window on any of these plays in this game, but lean Booker over and lean Bridges under.
Yeah, no, it's a good point here. Yeah, and ever since Bridges, someone had that hyperextended knee as well around 3 games ago, he hadn't had that same pop. So it kind of looked like he might have been out for a while. He's a warrior though. But yeah, nothing from me in this game. I'd like to take Pelicans. Don't like the injuries, especially with Jose Alvarado as well. I'm watching the last game when he went down. I'm like, you know what? They just really don't like my play. And the way the Suns got smacked up as well. So I'm supposed to be on Pelicans here. It's just not aligning up like I'd like to. I looked at this game literally 3 days ago. It's just not aligned up like I like to. But a couple games that are aligned up, you see what I'm saying? And I got to switch the line as well, man. This line was at 3 last night. The Wolves is down to 1.5 now. It could go back up, guys. Marketing it has I mean, he's questionable here. He said the last game. It's probably because they knew they could win without him. But I do think that marketing will be back today. So you might still be able to get the 3 or whatever. But I don't think it'll matter here, guys. This is a revenge spot for the Wolves. They lost earlier this year to the Jazz. They were up 15 points in that game at the house. They end up losing in overtime, so they can do it. Now, I know that was before Jazz kind of figured things out, but that was their revenge game versus Rudy. There are a few guys that are on the team, right? Clarkson, Conley, guys like that. Now, Rudy's going back to Utah. Now, I feel like now it's their time. It's their turn to get the win for Rudy. We know how teams treat games as well when they have a player on their team going back to face the old team. You want to get that win for their player as well. I think the Wolves march in here to Utah tonight and get the win. I like it at +1.5. But I'll be honest, obviously, if marketing is ruled in, you will get at least a 3 or better. And Conley's playing as well. He's listed as questionable. He is playing, guys. If you read into the beat writer, you don't have to wait. He's playing. So this line will go back up, and Sexton's out as well. But give me the Timmies. Oh, Andy, we rocking with the Timberwolves tonight. You like any
Yeah, I do like D'Angelo Russell. He's been last 3 games. You can't argue with the points that he's putting up. He's gone over his points, rebounds, and assists total the last 2 games just with his points.
Mhm.
So they got his points at 17.5. He scored 27 and 28 last couple games, taking 16 and 18 shots, and he's making 3-pointers, 2 of 6 and 4 of 9 the last 2 games. Granted, that was against OKC and Indiana, but I don't see why this game couldn't turn into a shootout. If it's a shootout and Russell gets off to a good start, he'll be firing away. So slight lean to D'Angelo Russell. I do not see any Utah Jazz props out, probably because we're waiting on the injury report there. So can't pull the trigger on Utah Jazz just yet. Can't pull the trigger on D'Angelo Russell because I got to see who's in there. But if Markkanen's playing, all
Mhm.
signs point to a really, really high scoring game, and that would be when I would take a look at Russell.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, and Russell is what I mean. They're kind of getting back to how they used to play. Russell is the engine that makes them go. If he's not playing good, the Wolves will be trash. If he's making his shots and starting to feel good, watch out for the Wolves really starting to make a run here. They started out lackluster. They did the same thing last year. They had to find their way. Cat's out for a while. They're going to get comfortable playing with Gobert. I said this a few games ago as well. We rocked with them versus the Grizzlies as well. I like this revenge spot. I like Gobert going back to Utah. They're gonna be on his ass, yelling all type of stuff. I think it's gonna propel the team to really come in here and want this win here. So I don't care what the spread is, +1.5, or you can wait and get some plus money. Well, I'll tell you what I'll be doing. I put a little something on +1.5. I'm waiting on marketing and Conley to get ruled in, and then I'm taking Wolves money line. Dig what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. Give me the Wolves, and then I'll howl one more time. Oh, come on, baby. Let's cash with these Wolves. Last game up, man. We're going here to the streets of Dallas here, man. I wish I could run like a Maverick right now on the show, but you got the Mavs here getting a point here at the house, guys, versus the Bucks. Late night ESPN game, Andy. It looks super easy to take the Bucks in this one. What are we doing here? It kind of feels like the Rockets Spurs game yesterday. What you think about this, Andy?
Well, I think I would be looking at Drew Holiday. It's tough because these are two really, really good defensive teams. But if I look at where Milwaukee's been having a lot of success on defense, it's been inside. And if we look at where they've been successful on offense, obviously Giannis is playing great and putting up tons of stats. But take a look at Holiday. I mean, his points 22, 28, 17, and 31 the last 4 games. And you look at his rebounds and assists combined, you're looking at 11, 18, 15, and 11. So this is a guy that's putting up stats pretty much in every single category. And I don't know who's going to draw the defensive assignment on Holiday. They like to try and hide Luka, for obvious reasons. Luka's putting out all of his energy on offense. So I'm not really sure who on the perimeter is going to be able to slow down Holiday. The thing you have to worry about with Dallas is they are the slowest paced team in the league, and it's not even close. So when you're looking at guys that put up good stats, just know they're going to be getting less possessions against Dallas than they are other teams. That's just a fact. So when you might be looking at some of the opponents of Dallas, go, well, he's been putting up 30 and 10 and 5, and it's like, well, yeah, that was against Golden State. That's the fastest paced team. They're going to be getting 15 less possessions. But obviously Giannis is a no-brainer that you go to. But I think a sneaky one with this one is going to be Drew Holiday over his points, rebounds, and assists. Jay, let me see if I can find what the exact line is here.
Drew Holiday's been balling too, man. I must say
he's been great. 29 and a half is his points, rebounds, and assists. This is a guy that's getting over 11 rebounds and assists. So throw in the points. That's a play that is worth a little bit of investment. Holiday.
Yeah. Interesting enough, Holiday has been the highest plus-minus player on the Bucks team, guys. So I was a little bit surprised to see that, to be honest with you. So he's been balling out. This team looks hungry right now, I must say. But I don't like the spot here for the Bucks as well. Last time they caught the Mavs, they were on a back-to-back. They were on a road back-to-back coming from Toronto. The Mavs they were getting blown out. It was crazy roller coaster type of game. They started out the game getting smacked up. They came back in the second quarter, made it a close game, and then third quarter it got smacked up. Then in the fourth quarter, it came back to make it a close game once again. Couldn't get it done. Ended up losing that game by 9, my guys. Don't ask me how I know. You see what I'm saying? But Mavs here, number 1 offensive rated team over the last 5 games. The offense is in a groove right now. If you're really watching close, you'll see that Tim Hardaway Jr. has stepped into that Jalen Brunson role, and he's been even better. Why? Because he's a taller player and he can play even better defense as well, guys. So he can still create. He can get to the basket, but he's making threes. Him and Luka right now on the floor have the highest plus-minus in the league right now over the past 6 or 7 games, guys. Luka and Tim Hardaway Jr. on the floor at the same time have been absolutely lethal here. But revenge spot as well. Lost 115, 124, November 27th. That line opened up at -6.5 that game. This line opened up -1 for the Bucks. It's supposed to open up -3.5, -4 if the Bucks, if this is a strong spot for the Bucks, but it's not here. books know is grading this as a strong spot for the Mavs here, and you have to look at it. Middleton in playing that game as well, Andy. So that's even more strength for the Mavs in this one, guys. 7-2 against the spread last 9 at the house versus the Bucks. The Mavs are 11-3 last 14 at the house versus winning road teams. Bucks only 1-3-1 against the spread last 5 road games. Mavs are also 15-5-2 against the spread last 22 meetings versus the Bucks. Remember, Jason Kidd had a little stint of coaching with this team as well. I think there's some added motivation here. Give me the Mavs here, plus the 1 in this one, Andy. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a trifecta spot and they came out from the get-go on their ass. But Mavs, full game for me, plus the 1. Heavily lean to first half as well, Andy. Any other looks in this one, my guy? What do you think about Hardaway threes?
He's been doing them now. The Hardaway threes didn't quite make my card. I got a couple of other bets that I like.
Okay. My guy Bash Bros says he likes Hardaway over 20 points. Could not talk you off, and definitely need him to go over 20 for me to win my bet, man. 758 people watching live. If you can, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. But real quick here, and let's go over here to the free picks segment of the show. My favorite part as well, Andy. What you're liking on the show today, and let the people know what you have going at Wager Talk, my guy.
Well, we do have our best bet for NBA that is up on Wager Talk, but if we're just talking about making money, Jay, my 5% NFL plays have just been red hot, and I have one posted for this Sunday. 15-4 run on those, including 3-0 last week in the NFL.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to have one 5% play, and we just love the card so much we hit 3 of them last week. So the 5% NFL plays, I keep telling people, is where we're doing our most damage and we're bringing in the most money. So encourage everyone to go get that. For my best bet, I mentioned him earlier. I'm going back to Tobias Harris. This is my favorite play on the card right now. We went over his point totals, 24, 19, 23, 25, 4. He had the horrible 3-point game, came back 21 and 27, and he just gets a really good matchup today. The team that he's playing is not very defensively minded. This is the Lakers. The Lakers have given up 126, 116, 119, 129, 109, 116, and 138 in their last few games. So when you ask, is there enough points for all the 76ers to score? Yes, there is enough points. Tobias is shooting the ball well. The return of Harden doesn't make me nervous as he's gone over the last 2 games with Harden. So Tobias Harris over his point total, 17.5 is my best bet on the card.
I like it. I definitely could not talk you off of that one, my guy. Like it. And so that's what Andy's letting you know that he's betting for sure, guys. Now here, man, let's talk about some shirts real quick, man. I'm about to put out a new promo code. I think I'm about to tweet it out on Twitter. I'm going to have a little Christmas special for the shirts, guys. It'll be then after that, that's basically it for the shirts. So it's not promo code WIN10 anymore, but we'll have I believe we're going to do 50% off. We're going to do a 50% off sale on the site over there. Shades, shirts, everything, guys, for Christmas. Blowout sale over at jmoneyismoney.com. I'm about to tweet out the promo code on Twitter right after this. I think I'm doing another show live today as well. Definitely be put the promo code there. So look out for that, or just DM me on Twitter if you'd like some merchandise, 50% off. It'll definitely get you taken care of. Us Against the Bookies. A few Smack City shirts left, and let's get some cash, my guys. So let's do it for me today, man. We rocking with the Wolves. We rocking with the Mavs in this one, man. 2 plays for me. Wanted to take Pelicans, just didn't line up right for me. But I'll be perfectly honest with you. You can take Wolves plus 1.5 now, but I do think Conley and Markkanen being ruled in will at least take this line back up to 3, maybe 3.5. And then I'll be taking Wolves money line. But however you like it, I think the Wolves will win this game. So take it. You see what I'm saying? However you believe so. But give me the Wolves in this one. We'll go official with Wolves plus 1.5. And I'm on Mavs plus the 1 as well. Money line, whatever. Let's go 2-0 one time for the one time, my guys. Appreciate Andy for doing the show as always, man. Even under special circumstances, go follow him on Twitter at Bump Sports. You can follow me as well at JMoneyIsMoney. We will win, my guys. Hit me up for the shirts or the shades, man, or the chains as well, man. But let's get some cash. It's Us Against the Bookies. We out, guys.